Well, it's Tuesday morning, April 21st, and as you'll notice, it's snowing! Farmer Rich and I are unexcited about feeding this morning because it should be warm and it should feel like spring. So, but we are going to go out because when you're a farmer or anything in life, you have to keep going even on the days that you don't feel like doing it, right?
This is ridiculous. Oh my
So
goodness.
we're on our way out to feed the two bottle babies, and so for farm school today we're gonna just show you some tape stuff since it's too windy and too cold to be outside doing much live stuff, but hopefully we don't have a snowman to show you later. So
I heard of this.
all right, farm schoolers, enjoy your warm house.
Oh.
More to come. Good morning again. So this is Oreo. She was the last ewe to be born, and her mom has the same issue that Radar has, where her milk is not coming in great. So we are bottle feeding her as well. We did not have to tube her, which was good. So we're not sure what's going on, why we had a couple moms like that, and so we'll have to figure that out. They all just moved here to this farm last year, so maybe just newness, and because they're getting plenty of food. So yeah, she's still getting used to the bottle. But yeah, so we give her and Radar a bottle 3 times a day. So and then so far that's been going good. And then they can get some supplemental milk from mom, right? Yes. Okay. So we wanted to show you that we moved the first litter of piglets, if you remember these guys who were born, gosh, almost 2 months ago now, out onto a real true pasture. So they've been inside the other pasture in their weaning pen, and so I put up this little gauntlet path here and opened it up and let them all the way over here with food, and then I closed them into this new pasture. And this is temporary pig fence, so it doesn't have to be very high because pigs don't jump. They just has to keep them from going underneath it is more the issue for them. So they are just loving the grass out here. They've been chomping away since I brought them out here. So we'll move their little condo and some water, and then what we'll do is once they eat down the grass, then this temporary fencing is awesome. All you have to do is just pull it out of the ground. It has one stake, and then we'll move it on down and give them another spot with taller grass. And eventually we'll be able to put them in the woods too, which will be great for them. So hope you can hear me. It's a little windy out here. And so we attach the solar charger here. So this is electrified, and that should keep them inside and the predators out. And here they are out on the pasture. Good morning again. So I'm in the feed room where it's a little bit warmer than outside. And since we showed you the pigs and how nice it was yesterday in the weather when we moved the pigs, I wanted to show you how it is that we actually charge these little temporary fences that we're putting up. So we do use electric fences here at Cardinal Farms, especially because we have livestock, and that works really well for them. Electric fence is designed to give a little bit of a jolt or a shock to the animals to teach them that they shouldn't test the fence, that they shouldn't push against it. So it's a lot easier than trying to build fences that are strong enough to hold in like a ram who is super strong, or even a pig that's really strong as well. And so rather than trying to build fences that are strong enough to keep the animals from pushing through, with an electric fence, once they touch it and they get a little bit of a shock, it teaches them to just stay away from the fence. So it works really well. One of the issues though is when you are doing fencing in a large pasture, you're not always by a power source. And that's something that you need for electric fences. So one thing we use here at Cardinal Farms is solar chargers. And I'm going to talk to you about what a solar charger looks like. And I'm no expert on electricity, so some of you guys could probably teach me a few things. I've learned a lot just putting these up. But I want to show you how we use the sun in order to charge our electric fences. So we buy this unit. It's from a company called Premier One, and this is a solar powered fence charger. So it comes with this panel that is the solar panel, and this goes on the top, and we actually tilt it in relation to where the sun is depending on the time of year, because the idea is that we want to catch as much of the sun as possible while it's in the sky. And the reason for that is that the sun is what is powering the electric fence. So inside this unit, I'm going to open this up and show you the inside is a, pretty heavy actually. This is a 12-volt battery. So this battery is what stores the energy from the sun. As the sun comes down, the energy from the sun goes into the solar panel, which then goes into this battery. So when we first set up one of these chargers, it actually has to be outside in the sun for 3 days before it's ready to charge a fence. Because obviously overnight there's no sun, so it's the excess energy that's stored in the battery that actually allows the fence to keep charging all of the time. So, but instead of being plugged into a power source, it actually can just be, we can put this charger wherever we want it, and it can charge whatever fence we want, even if we're way, way, way far away from the barn or the house. So we have two charges here. We've got a positive charge and a negative charge. And so there's a positive and negative from the battery. And then I'm going to close this up. And then this is also a positive and negative. This is where the positive and negative charge comes out. So this is the positive charge, and what we've done is, I'll show you here on the negative. This is a rubber coated wire. So the wire is a good conductor of electricity. That means it carries the electricity, and the rubber is not. So that means I'm not going to get shocked when I touch the rubber, but this is going to carry the electricity and the power that I need it to. So what we did was we attached the wire here to this post. It's called a terminal. And I'll show you, and then this is actually going to be attached to the fence itself. And so that's the positive, and then this is the negative. So there's the terminal there, and I just take this wire and I thread it through the bottom of that terminal, and then I'm going to screw this back on, so that's going to keep it there. Now, unlike normal electricity, electric fence is not trying to make a complete circuit all the time. It's actually the animal touching the fence that makes the full circuit. And I'm going to attach some files to the Farm School at Cardinal Farms group so you can see what this looks like. So what the charger does is attaches to the fence, and it just sends out a charge into the fence. About every second, it sends a pulse of power. And so, and that just keeps sending out. It's when the animal touches the fence that it creates a circuit. So, or like a complete, circuit is like a complete circle. So what we do is, and the way that happens is, this negative charge is attached to what is called a ground. So in a bigger charger, a ground can be a rod that goes into the actual ground. It's called a grounding rod, goes into the ground. What a novel idea for a name, huh? And so, and that, when the animal touches the fence, the power passes through the animal and into the ground through their feet, and then it goes and it hits the ground and comes back up. So that's kind of the circle. So this is the ground for a solar charger. It's shorter, and that's fine because we're not trying to charge miles and miles of fence, just a shorter fence. And so this actually attaches to the bottom of this. Oh, that was easier than I thought. And this goes into the ground. It's like a stake that goes into the ground. It is a stake that goes into the ground. And then the negative charge attaches here. So, and then we have the positive. Let's pretend that this is the fence. Let's say this is the fence right here. So now if I'm the animal and I'm coming up to the fence and I touch the fence, the charge is going to pass through me, go into the ground, and then come out and back up into here. So that's kind of that's the circuit. So that's why it's important to have a ground. Otherwise, the animal is not going to feel that jolt of electricity when it hits the fence. So these are really handy tools for farmers, and I'll put some resources on our Farm School at Cardinal Farms page so you can learn more about electricity than you would ever learn from me. But this is a really handy tool, and I want to say that some people worry, is this going to hurt the animal? It does not hurt them. Yeah, it hurts in the moment. Farmer Rich and I have touched the fence many times, both of us, and it kind of gives you a scare and a jolt, but it doesn't hurt us long term, and it doesn't hurt the animal. So it's a necessary tool in order to keep the animals safe. It keeps predators and animals that would want to hurt our livestock from coming in, and it keeps them inside of a boundary so that they're safe as well. So it's a really handy tool. This is the solar charger. Hey Farm Schoolers! So this morning we are doing vaccinations for the kid goats and lambs that were born this spring. Not all of them, but the first set that was born. So the vaccination we're doing today is called CDNT, and it's for sheep and goats. This one is for sheep and goats. And it is a vaccination against Clostridium, which is a vaccination against enterotoxemia, which is actually overeating disease. So unfortunately, humans don't have a vaccination against this, which I could use it in quarantine because I've been eating a lot of carbs. So, but animals ruminants can overeat, and it can cause them to die. So, and then also against tetanus, which is something that we do get as humans. So it's tetanus vaccination, the same. So what I do for each animal is we take a sterile syringe, and we talked about what a syringe is, and you can see it's got the markings on it to tell me how much. And for this vaccination, all of them get 2 milliliters, regardless of their size. And then I take, this is the needle that's also in a sterile package, and open this up and lock the needle in like that. And so when you're using needles, of course, you want to be super careful. I have definitely poked myself before. And there's like a rubber top on these bottles that allows you to keep poking needles in without having to open it, so it keeps the solution sterile. You've probably seen your doctor do this. And then we just pull out, and the solution goes into the syringe. What's important is that there's no air in there, because you don't want to put air into the animal when you give them a shot. So I kind of look and make sure, push it back in until I'm sure that there's no air. And then I'm also sure that I'm at the right amount. So I'm at 2 mLs, which is the amount that I want. So just like with people, making sure that your medications are dosed. It's called dosage. The amount is right is very important because you can get sick if you something that can make you better can make you sick if you don't have the right amount. So then right away I put the top back on and click that until I'm ready to use it. And once we have all these filled, then we'll show you the next step in doing vaccinations. Hey, we're back. So we are doing the vaccinations, and actually this is Farmer Rich's first time giving shots, and he's done 2 already, and he's done awesome. So now he is going to get the next patient, and we're also doing deworming today. So goats and other ruminants are very prone to worms and parasites because remember we said that they have 4 stomachs, so that means they have a lot of digestive tract that is potentially open to parasites. So we deworm them. We typically, everybody does it a little different. We do it once a year, and then if we notice that they're having an issue, remember we check their eyes, the inside of their eyelids to see if it's light. That's when we can tell too they might be having another issue. So we do that, or we do a fecal sample where we have the vet look at their poop to see if there's worms in it. So, but this is their annual, and so we have 2 patients here. We also have a lamb in here, but this is Bert.
Hello, Bert.
And hello, Bert. Welcome to the office. Have there been any changes in your medical health?
Insurance?
Insurance? Remember, you got to talk to your doctor. Do you have updated insurance? No.
Yeah.
All right. I think you're good. We'll cover you.
We've covered that joke as long as we can.
We've covered that one. So I just want to show you something. We noticed this on his ear this morning. Look at that. So we don't know if maybe his ears are so long, if they got a little frostbite and something if it fell off, because the other ear has some similar character traits. We're actually going to talk to the farm where we got him from to see what's going on, because it hasn't been that cold, but he has it on both ears, and if it was numb like that, something, a rodent might have chewed on it or something. So we've been treating it with some topical antibiotic just to make sure that it doesn't get infected. But yeah, we were kind of sad to find that because you're such a pretty boy. And now you got a little kind of you got a unique ear. So we're going to show you. I said Farmer Rich has been doing the shots this morning.
Yep, first time ever.
So there's a couple different ways to do shots. One is a subcutaneous, which means you're going in between the skin and the muscle. And that's how we do the shots this morning. There's also IM, which is intramuscular, which you just go straight in. I think that's what you see when you get a flu shot. You get a flu shot, it goes straight in. And then there's also IV, which we don't do. We have the vet do that because we're not, it's harder. It's a harder one. You got to go right into the vein. So, but most vaccinations, like the CD and T, are subcutaneous, and so that's what we do. So we pinch a area of loose skin.
Oh, he's got good skin.
He's got good loose skin, and then you want to make sure that you don't, stick the needle in your face, and then you're sticking it right in there, and then once you're in, you want to pull back and make sure that you don't have any blood, and that means that you're not in the muscle, and then just slowly inject it into the kid and pull out. And we don't rub it afterwards because we don't want to.
Even though you want to.
You want to, but you don't, because you don't want to affect the absorption of it. And that's it. And then we put it into a container.
This is our Sharpie container.
Sharpie container, it's called, to dispose of it. And then for the dewormer, it's actually just a drench. So we just give him 1 ml of this. That's it. And easy enough. Oh, and this is
Radar sighting.
Radar sighting. This is Radar, the bottle-fed lamb, who goes everywhere with Farmer Rich. He's kind of his sidekick right now. So, so that's how you do a Vaccination? And you look good? Feel good? We'll get your bill in the mail, okay?
Good job, Bert. Let's get Ernie.
All right, Ernie's up next.